Hello guys and welcome back to another video from my YouTube channel, that is Vipin Sharma Biology Tutorials, and today we are going to learn about the nutrients that are present in plants. So the nutrients that are beneficial for plants or are present in plants in different quantities are divided into two categories, that is micronutrients and macronutrients. So there are micronutrients as well as macronutrients present in plants. So let's study first about macronutrients as they are more important. They are called as macronutrients. Macro simply means large. So they are known as macronutrients because they are present in greater amount, that is greater than 10 millimole per kg of dry weight. This word is very important. Since they are present in greater than 10 millimole per kg of dry weight, they are known as macronutrients. And if the nutrient in plant body is present or needed in less than 10 millimole per kg of dry weight, then they are known as micronutrients. So this is the simple difference between micronutrients and macronutrients. So what are the different kind of examples of macronutrients and micronutrients? The examples of macronutrients can easily be understood by a very simple trick, that is PK ka kaun sa mug. PK is a boy who is going to drink milk but he has many mugs. So his mom is asking PK ka kaun sa mug. So what does this particular trick means? P and K means phosphorus and potassium, that is PK simply. Ka means Ca, that is calcium. Con, that is CHON, simply means carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Sa simply means S, that is sulfur, and Mg, that is Mg, simply means magnesium. So these are the 9 very important macronutrients present in plant body. What are those? Let us revise them once again. PK ka kaun sa mug, that is PK, Ca, CHON, S and Mg, which are present in greater than 10 millimole per kg of dry weight of plant, and these are 9 in number. So now let's move towards the micronutrients. Micronutrients are present in less quantity, that is less than 10 millimole per kg of dry weight of plant, and the examples of micronutrients are very interesting to learn. Let us write 21 to 30 atomic numbers, that is scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. From the fifth element, that is manganese, the next 5 elements are micronutrients except cobalt. Why cobalt is not included in micronutrients? Because cobalt is present in another category, that is the beneficial elements. Since cobalt is present in beneficial elements, that's why it is not included in micronutrients. So except cobalt, from the fifth element of 21 to 30 this series, the remaining 5 elements would be micronutrients, and the remaining 3 micronutrients can be remembered by a very simple trick, that is mobile charger. MOB, we know very well that this is the abbreviation for mobile, where MO simply means molybdenum and B simply means boron. Charger is the chlorine, that is Cl. So there are 8 micronutrients. 5 are from atomic number 21 to 30, starting from 5th element to the next 5 except cobalt, because cobalt is a beneficial element, and mobile charger, that is MOB and Cl. So there are 8 micronutrients and 9 macronutrients which are added to get a total nutrient of number 17. So this is about micronutrients and macronutrients. Now there is a very special category, that is the beneficial elements. So there are 4 beneficial elements, and how they can be understood or learned? They can be learned by a very simple trick, that is Kona Shishe. If you want to put shishe, that is glass, then you have to put it at corners or on corners, because if you don't want them to break, then you have to put the glasses at corners. So the trick is Kona Shishe, where Co simply means cobalt, for about which we have already discussed. Na simply means sodium. Shishe, that is Si, and Se simply means silicon and selenium. So Kona Shishe are the 4 beneficial elements which are present besides micronutrients and macronutrients. After that, there are many essential elements that are present in plant body, which are differentiated by their functions or the functions which they are doing in plant body. So there are various categories of these essential elements. So now let's understand that particular categories. The first category is the structural category or the component of biomolecules. There are some kind of elements or nutrients which are providing the structural framework, or those are the component of biomolecules such as polysaccharides, proteins, fats, nucleic acids, etc. These are the simple biomolecules. So there are some structural elements or the components of biomolecules. So कौन से हैं वो biomolecules? The answer is in the question. Con, that is CHON, are the four major structural elements or the components of biomolecules. After that, the second category is energy related chemical compounds, the chemical compounds that are yielding the energy. So the number one is magnesium. Magnesium, why it is an energy related compound? Because it is present in chlorophyll. We know that the plant forms its food via a simple process, that is photosynthesis, which is not so simple, in which the major pigment is chlorophyll, and on that particular pigment there present an element that is magnesium. Therefore it is related to energy, because via chlorophyll the plant is able to make its food, and that food is going to give energy to the plant. So it is therefore related to the energy. And ATP, which is the energy currency. The full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. As the phosphate is coming in name itself, therefore it is containing phosphorus. So magnesium and phosphorus are energy related chemical compounds. The third category will be those elements which are altering or changing the osmotic potential. For example, the potassium. The potassium has the ability to open and close stomata. So since it is controlling the water level, because the opening and closing of stomata, on that particular factor the rate of transpiration depends. So it is therefore altering the osmotic potential or osmolarity of a particular plant. So this element is very beneficial, that is K, or potassium. After that, the next and the most important category is the elements which are activating or inhibiting some sort of enzymes. So what are those elements? Mg, that is magnesium 2 positive, which is activating ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, which is also known as Rubisco, which is the most abundant protein in plant world, not in animal world, but in plant world. So magnesium activates Rubisco, as well as it activates phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase, which is a very important enzyme. Both of those are the enzymes of photosynthesis. After that, there is another element, that is zinc, which is activating alcohol dehydrogenase. And the last one but not the least, molybdenum, which is activating or which act on nitrogenase enzyme. So this is a very important topic, because you would be asking question like, this is the element and you have to match it with the correct enzyme on which it is acting, or the reaction which is it is giving, like activation or inhibition. So you have to remember that. So let us revise the whole sheet. There are many nutrients present in plant body which are bifurcated into two categories, that is micro and macronutrients. Macronutrients can be remembered by a very simple trick, that is PK ka kaun sa mug, which are 9 in number. And micronutrients are, firstly we have to write the atomic numbers from 21 to 30, and from fifth element we have to go towards the next ones, and all of them are micronutrients except cobalt, which is present in the category of beneficial elements. The remaining three can be memorized by mobile charger, that is MOB and Cl. The beneficial elements are 4 in number, which can be simply learned by a trick, that is Kona Shishe. After that, the essential elements are divided into various categories. There are some energy related chemical compounds such as magnesium and phosphorus, structural component of biomolecules such as CHON, that is con, activate or inhibit enzymes such as magnesium, zinc and molybdenum, and alteration of osmotic potential, which is K, which is responsible for the opening and closing of stomata. So I hope that this particular video is going to help you a lot in your examination. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and if you really like this video then hit like button, and if you are new then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much again for watching this video guys.